Please go on.
Okay, so I was working on Magento plugin for PHP Storm, and the task is to extend new module form and add ability to select module dependencies. And the idea was that when you select those module dependencies, they will be added to a composer.json file and module.xml. And here is what I have. Let me switch the window. I'll probably just share the whole screen. Can you see? Can you see ID?
Yes.
So this project structure in IntelliJ IDEA with a plugin for PHP Storm. If I click create new module, it would show me a window, and you can see that there is a new field, module dependencies. I will type my module name, select some dependencies for this module from the drop down, click OK, and it shows me module.xml where you can see that those dependencies were added. And if I open composer.json file, I also can see those dependencies there. So it's pretty much working. Already a couple of things I'm still working on. I want to make sure that we have patch versions here. I'm still thinking about it. It's not always will be a patch version, but developer will have to put some version there, so he would be able to at least have some version and downgrade, upgrade it to, or downgrade it to he would be able to make dependency looser, make a maybe dependency, make it a minor dependency. Anyway, so this is one thing, and another thing is I'm double checking if this drop down here has correct size. For some reason I need to resize this window, but maybe it will be better in PHP Storm. So that's another thing that I'm double checking. I think this is pretty much it.
Oliver, it's very cool, really. Today, I mean, this conversion date, the plugin is very popular, and I think we still have more than 12 hours until the end, and it will be much better than it was before. Thank you very much for your help and for your work. We appreciate it.
I have a quick question about adding modules. So now I see when you selected, they were added in the alphabetical order. Is it possible to, like, in case if you select, for example, first backend, then, I don't know, after IceNet, how would it be added?
If I select first backend and then after IceNet,
yeah.
I think it will add them also in the alphabetical order. Let's try. Yeah, it's added again in the alphabetical order, which is
Yeah, because I'm not sure that we need to add those modules to the sequence to the composer, the JSON, yeah, because it's like dependency and sequence makes sense only when the loading order matters. Maybe somebody has, yeah, module loading.
The order here doesn't matter. What matters, like what the sequence means, is that those modules will be loaded before Magento 2 underscore test 2 Magento test 2 module can be loaded.
Yeah, I understand that.
Maybe I misunderstood your question.
Probably Elena means that we don't need always to have all dependencies in Composer as a sequence, in sequence section.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I guess what we can do to work around this issue, we can create a separate drop down where you would select what do you want to add to module.xml. That would produce correct result, but also you will have to scroll and select this module. So maybe you add all of the modules. You add the same modules in the composer and module.xml, and then remove what is necessary. Maybe that would be easier. I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Need to think. What do you guys think? What would be better? Have one drop down and add everywhere the same modules, and then developer would remove what is necessary, or allow to have multiple drop downs?
My personal feeling is that I would add to composer only in order to avoid any circular dependencies, etc. So if somebody really needs to add module to the sequence, then developer can do this manually. But this is just my opinion about that.
Can we
Yeah,
just
we have to, at some point we need to remove module XML, and I wouldn't add infrastructure to evolve it. Module XML today ideally should only be used in rare cases by developers.
That's true. So remove this part completely.
Or you can
Well, I mean not completely. Sorry.
just to duplicate this to the sequence if developer wants. If needed, by default it will be unchecked.
Add the checkbox. Add those dependencies to module.xml.
Yeah, so checkbox which is by default unchecked, and if developer wants, he can check that checkbox, and it will be in that case it will be all these modules will be duplicated in sequence in model XML as well.
We can do that. Yeah, we can add checkbox. There still would be problems that all of the selected dependencies will be added. So, but the developer may need to go and remove those dependencies. Maybe it would be better to not add sequence, because sometimes it's not needed at all, and we're going to remove it. I don't have big opinion. Maybe we can vote somewhere, and developers can say what do they think would be easier for them.
For me, like if we decide keep and then make developer to remove, or do not add and then developer will add, I will vote for the second one because at least it will not cause when people add some dependencies, some sequence module by mistake. At least we will avoid this situation.
So you would vote to not add at all?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think I agree to not to add it. I usually add them when I have a setup problem or something when I install the module.
Okay. Okay, we can do that.
But still, really cool add to the Magento plugin. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really great.
Thanks. All right, I guess then this is it.
Okay, thank you again, Igor. Anyway, it is very. You see, when some PR leads to some discussion, that means it's a very, very required feature. And
but we still have a part of PR of modifying composer JSON, right? If I understand
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, no more questions. Looks like. Okay, let's wrap up. Thank you, Igor, again.